The moon is our mirror, reflecting what we've hidden, healing what we've buried, and lighting what we're ready to see. Every phase whispers something different: release, rest, intention, and growth. In today's Mystical Minds, we're diving into moon magic, how to align your rituals and energy with the lunar cycle so that your manifestations flow naturally instead of forcing them. Because when you learn to move with the moon, life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a rhythm. I'd like to welcome you to Mystical Minds, the podcast where magic meets modern life and the metaphysical isn't just possible, it's personal. I'm your host, Allie Thies. I'm a psychic and energy worker, a soul connection specialist, and the former host of Ask Allie, the longest running spiritual podcast on Apple Podcasts with 19 incredible seasons. Over the years, I've written 8 books, including the Gypsy Magic series, Out of Body Ecstasy, Gypsy Girl's Guide to Goals, One Spicy Erotic Story, and a chapter in the best selling book, Sacred Self, where I shared my insights on creating a bedroom that truly invites love. I've been walking the mystical path since childhood, and now I help others reconnect with their true selves through my intuitive readings, soul work, in the safe, sacred space of the Mystical Minds community. This podcast is your invitation to explore the magical, metaphysical, and the wildly mysterious side of life. From energy healing to spirit guides, soulmates to sacred rituals, nothing is off limits here. So grab your tea, light a candle, and let's dive into the mystery together. Hello, 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 everybody. I hope you are doing well on this fine Monday. We have a few announcements today. Mercury Retrograde, in case you didn't know, started yesterday on Sunday, November 9th. It goes until the 29th. This is the infamous cosmic slowdown where communication, travel, and technology can feel like they've turned upside down. But rather than fearing it, treat this as a sacred recalibration. It's a good time for reviewing, refining, and realigning your path. The universe isn't blocking you, it's redirecting you. Breathe, double check plans, reread contracts, and above all, trust divine timing. Which brings us to the 1111 Gateway, which is tomorrow, Tuesday. Big manifestation portal. It's a powerful energetic alignment that amplifies manifestation and spiritual awakening. Those repeating ones, the 1111, represent oneness, the bridge between the material and the divine. Use tomorrow to journal your intentions, light a candle, or charge your moon water, which is our mystical item of the week, beneath the sky. Anything you set into motion on this day echoes with a higher vibration. Make it count, and it'll last for the rest of 2025. And I think in segment 4, I have a 1111 little ritual for you guys. And new in Love Notes, I have added in the Soulful Connections segment. So I've added something extra magical to Love Notes. It's a new segment called Soulful Connections. Each episode now includes a moment of deep reflection where I share a story, an exercise, or an energetic tool that helps you strengthen the connection between soulmates, twin flames, or your own inner love frequency. It's where love meets energy, intimacy meets intuition, and soul meets story. If you've ever wanted to explore how psychic bonds and emotional chemistry intertwine, you'll love the new edition. So tune into the next episode of Love Notes to experience it for yourself. And that'll be this Friday, November 14th, 9 p.m. On TikTok at the period passion period zone, the passion zone. Okay, so let's go to the card of the week. This week I'm going to be using Denise Lynn's Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. Now, it doesn't matter when you listen to this episode. You can listen to it when I put it out. You can be a year from now, 5 years from now. Heck, with Ask Allie, I had 19 years, so it could be, 15 years from now. Whenever you hear this episode and this card is for you for the upcoming week. All right, so let me move a cat out of my way. She keeps wanting to be part of the magic. That would be Xena, my little warrior princess. She's very into podcasts, and anytime I have a connection with a client, She is here in an instant. So let's see what kind of cards we're going to pull for this week. Got a good feeling about this week. That's what I'm going with. No whammies. All right. Let's see here. Let's shuffle a bit. All right. So let's see what kind of card we're going to get for this week. Let's get this one. And it is Discovering Truth. You stand in the light of truth. So during this first week of Mercury retrograde, something is going to come forth to give you some sort of truth. Whatever, maybe there's been something hidden underneath layers, and somebody hasn't come through with their truth quite yet. But this is a week of discovering truths. It could be a good truth, it could be a bad truth, it could be something that puzzles you. But in the light of day, this truth had to come out at some point in time. So during Mercury retrograde, why not? Right? It's all about rediscovering, realigning, and this truth will shift your life somehow. And this could be a universal truth that comes out. Somebody could make a discovery this week. I don't know. It's a truth that affects every one of us. Some sort of truth, either from somebody in our life or a universal truth. Okay, so just be prepared. Oh, Zena, you're back. So just be prepared for that. And when you have truth, try not to react in the moment. That's something I feel is very important. Don't react in the moment. Sit with it, think about it, especially during a Mercury retrograde, and decide what you're going to do about it. Okay. Being reactive during a Mercury retrograde will bite you in the butt. Okay. So think it over before you say something. All right. So let's go forward. The mystical item of the week is moon water. And this is a simple thing. It's simple, it's ancient, and it's endlessly versatile. For centuries, practitioners have collected and charged water beneath moonlight to absorb lunar energy. Moon water captures the emotional, intuitive, and feminine frequency of the moon, making it a tool for cleansing, blessing, and amplifying intention. So, how do you create it? Well, number one, you got to choose your vessel. A glass jar or bowl is ideal. Don't use metal. Never, ever, ever use metal. if you I, if you have glass, use it. If you don't have glass, then the next best thing, I don't know if wood holds water, but nice little wooden bowl, or if you have a bowl made out of stone, that would be awesome. That would definitely work. A little crystal bowl, little rose quartz bowl, whatever the case may be. Um, yeah, plastic, preferably not plastic. Oh, ceramic works. Ceramic pottery, those would work as well. Just no metal, no plastic. All right. Now, so once you have your vessel, fill it with purified or spring water. Okay, don't take the crap from the tap. There's there's a whole bunch of chemicals and stuff in there we do not want in our moon water. Second, you want to set your intention. So what you do is you hold the jar in your hands in front of you and you say your intention out loud. For example, this water holds the vibration of clarity, intuition, and peace. Okay? You could also say this water holds the vibration of love, deep, deep hearted connection, and soul bonds. Prosperity, this water holds the vibration of prosperity, abundance, and wealth. Whatever the case may be for you. Oh, now I have another cat up here. Now it's Mr. Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Guys, in case you haven't been listening to me for a while, for those of you who have been listening to me, you know that Xena here is a reincarnation of my Samantha Joe Beam. And Gibbs here is my reincarnation of Darn Darn. Um, these two have the exact personalities with kind of a little twist to them. of those two previous cats, but Gibbs and Xena, yeah, you two just never go without one another, do you? Okay, back up, guys. I can't see what I'm doing. I've had cats taken over. Ah, oh, we're trying to do the moon jar. Okay, so after you say the intention, then you want to charge it under the moonlight. You can place it on a windowsill, balcony, or even outside. If it's cloudy or raining, don't worry. Lunar energy penetrates through those clouds. And then you want to seal it and store it. The next morning, cap your jar and label it with the moon phase and date. Now, if you have put this outside, you still want to put some sort of cover on it so that bugs don't land in it or leaves or dust. When I put mine outside, I usually put some saran wrap over it. It protects it from, and I usually use a bowl. Um, it protects it from the outside stuff that's flying about, and then I could take the plastic wrap off, and then I pour it into little jars. Okay. Now, some ways to use it. You can add it to your bath for cleansing. You can anoint your candles, your crystals, or your altar tools. You can mist your aura, your energy body, to calm the energy field. You can water your plants or use it in spell jars to nurture intentions. You can sprinkle a few drops in the corners of your home for energetic renewal. Now, if you do make this moon water during this Mercury retrograde, label it for reflection and realignment. It'll carry the frequency of release and repair, which of course is perfect for shadow work, journaling, and energy cleaning. And I've really got to move these cats. Come on, guys. My desk is not big enough for both of you. All right. And also, if you haven't been with me for a while, you know I don't edit. Well, if you haven't been with me, you don't know that. I don't edit. I never edit. Why? Because real life is messy. Real life has interruptions. Real life is not smooth and perfect. It is full of speed bumps, sometimes crashes, and you're running into a brick wall. Ah, Gibbs is back. Okay, Gibbs, we got to move. So let's go on to the power of lunar alignment. Okay. The moon is our greatest natural teacher. She reflects how to honor cycles, the ebb and flow, and let timing do its magic. Every phase has a pulse that aligns with our emotional body, intuition, and manifestation process. When you sync your life with the lunar rhythm, you start living in harmony rather than resistance. So with new moons, this is when you want to plant the seeds. It's the moon of potential and creation. Set intentions, write wishes, visualize what you're ready to invite. A simple ritual, if you don't want to do an intention grid like we do at Mystical Minds, you can light a white candle, write three desires on a piece of paper in red ink, and whisper, "As the moon grows, so too shall my dreams." Then we have the waxing moon, which is build the energy. So now, when the moon waxes, so should your action. This is a time to take inspired steps, send messages, make the move, or plant the literal seeds you dreamed of during the new moon. Focus on consistency and faith in process. The full moon is for illumination and release. That full moon, it amplifies absolutely everything your power, your emotions, and insight. It reveals truth and invites cleansing. A full moon ritual, let's say, you can write what you're releasing on a piece of paper, hold it over your heart, and say, "I honor what has served me. I release what no longer aligns." And then you can bury or burn the paper safely. If you burn it, please burn it in a non metal container and never leave something unattended that you've lit on fire. Okay, whether it's this paper or a candle. Then we have the waning moon, which is all about rest and reflection. After the height of illumination, it's time to withdraw. This phase supports rest, boundaries, and gentle review. Use it to clean your home, clean your altar, and restore your nervous system. Remember, magic isn't only action, it's also integration. Now, working with moon magic during the Mercury retrograde. People often fear doing anything magical during the Mercury retrograde, but truly, this is a potent time for reworking and reclaiming your energy. While Mercury slows the external world, the moon invites you inward into reflection, intuitive repair, and energetic reset. So try this. Revisit old journals. What patterns are ready to evolve? You can reconnect with forgotten dreams. What wants another chance to grow? Recharge your crystals or moon water with intentions of clarity and patience. And you can repeat affirmations like every delay is divine redirection, or the universe speaks clearly when I listen quietly. Retrograde energy magnifies emotion. When frustration rises, move energy gently. You can take a salt bath, walk under the moonlight, or maybe meditate with your moon water near your heart. This calms the throat chakra, which is Mercury's domain, and restores flow to communication and creativity. No, Xena. Xena, down. Boy, boy, oh boy. Today, these cats are just full of it. They're being extra spicy. All right. So, moving on to the emotional language of the moon. The moon speaks the language of emotion. If you're ever unsure what your intuition is saying, check in with her. She'll show you through your moods, your dreams, and your body. So, a little practice you can do is moon journaling. Each night, note the moon phase and how you felt emotionally. Over time, patterns will emerge. Maybe you're energized during waxing moons and maybe quieter during waning ones. This helps you plan your creative work, your rest days, and spiritual practices in alignment with your natural rhythm. Ask yourself, what is the moon showing me about myself right now? Your answer is your energetic forecast, more accurate than any app. Now, let's do our little ritual here, the manifestation under 1111 Gateway. You might want to, pause this as I go through it so you can write stuff down. With Mercury in retrograde and the 1111 portal open, manifestation looks less like a pushing forward and more like a magnetizing through surrender. When you surrender, you go with the flow. Okay? When you align your vibration, the universe meets you halfway. So, sit quietly at 11:11 a.m. or p.m. in your time zone. Place your hand over your heart and say aloud, I align with divine timing. I call in what serves my highest evolution. I'll say it again. I align with divine timing. I call in whatever serves my highest evolution. And imagine, visualize your desires as energy, that they're already woven into your life. They're already part of you. And if you made the moon water, drink a sip of it to seal the manifestation. During this 1111 ritual, you can also hold a quartz crystal in your receptive hand. Your receptive hand is, no, wait a minute. Let me rethink this. Interesting. Just had a moment. I'm saying interesting because I was immediately going to say the receptive hand so that the energy of the crystal magnifies what you say out loud. They align with divine timing. I call it when served for highest evolution. That would amplify it if you put it in your receiving hand. That is the hand you do not write with. But what if you put another crystal in your projective hand? Okay. The energy from the crystal in your receptive hand will magnify the 1111, right? Ritual. And it will go into the crystal in your projective hand. And then you carry with you for the rest of 2025 the crystal that's in your right, well, for me, it would be my right hand because that's what I write with, in your projective hand. Ooh, I like that. So amplify it with having a crystal in each hand. Yes, indeedy do. That is wonderful. And if you only have one crystal, it's up to you. You can supercharge the 1111 ritual by holding it in your receptive hand, or you could have a talisman, a little magical crystal with you if you put it in your projective hand. It's your ritual, so it's completely up to you. But this act, it grounds the 1111 energy, and it also spreads the frequency out. Okay. So you're living the 1111 frequency in your body as opposed to just up in your head. It takes the all your chakras, not just the upper ones. Kids, you got to move. All right. So, soul work for the week. Here's some journal prompts, and of course, all of this is the soul work is going to be below in the show's notes. So we have some journal prompts. What lunar phase feels more natural to me? Why? What emotion is asking to be released this week? What intention feels aligned to charge under the 1111 energy? You can also do lunar energy practice. Each night, look up at the moon, even if it's hidden because it's still up there someplace, and say, I see myself reflected in your light. Take 3 breaths and imagine your body sinking to her glow and energy. You can also do the moon water activation. So each morning, anoint your wrists or forehead with a drop of the moon water and affirm, I move with divine rhythm. And you can also do number 4, retrograde reflection. Write down the one thing you're revisiting this month, a project, a relationship, or mindset. What lesson is it offering now that you've missed before? All right. And that soul work is below in the show's notes. So the moon doesn't rush her phases, does she? She waxes, she wanes, and returns, all in divine rhythm. So too shall we. Let Mercury retrograde remind you to rest. Let 1111 remind you that magic multiplies through faith. And let the moon remind you that your energy is never lost. It's always cycling, always evolving. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are the cosmos, dreaming itself awake. Next week, we'll explore sacred space at home, creating your everyday altar, on how to anchor magic in the meeting right where you live. And that's a wrap here on this episode of Mystical Minds with with Zena and Mr. Leroy Jethro Gibbs. I hope it sparks something inside of you, a memory, a knowing, a nudge from your soul. Don't forget your soul work for the week. You'll find it under resources for episode. If you loved what we explored today, please don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs a little magic in their life. And if you're craving more, join the Mystical Minds group. It's a safe, sacred space to explore everything from energy work to soul connections, intuition, spirit guides, and more. You'll find support, community, and your people. And if you walk the metaphysical path and you would love to share your wisdom on the podcast, whether you're an energy worker, intuitive healer, or just someone with a wild spiritual story, I'd love to hear from you. The link is below in the show's notes. You can also book a private reading or soul session with me at any time at outofbodyxc.com. I've got you whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper connection to your path. And I'd also like to remind everybody that Black Friday to Cyber Monday is coming up soon, and that is the only time of the year that I put out my old readings that I've taken off the site, and I mark everything about 50% off. So stay tuned. And until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and remember endless possibilities, infinite you.